Good afternoon, Zachariah Jackson, BASA News. You know, it's nothing like a person deciding to put their 2 cents in. We often heard that. What is your 2 cents? What is your voice? Well, next year, starting January, well, even now, people are gearing up to run for President of the United States. January will be a very interesting January because 11 months or 10 months from January will be November. And in the month of November, we will know who's going to be the next president of the United States. Today, I'm sitting with a young lady by the name of Shirley Clay, who decided to become a presidential candidate, an independent candidate for president of the United States. Shirley?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. What would make, I'm going to go right in on this, a person wanting to step out of private life and, you know, get into the hysteria of the media and possibly become the president of the United States?
Well, actually there's several reasons, but right now it's because of the dire straits that this country is in. And what I don't understand is why aren't more people coming forward? I actually made the comment in jest. I said, for all the Republicans and Democrats and everyone that are running for office, I said, maybe I should run for office. Everybody else is running. Maybe I should just run. And as I stated, it was said in jest, but then I thought about it. There are so many things that I do on my own. Sure. That I fight for my family and I fight for policy that would change the lives of all people.
Mm-hmm, sure.
So I said, I'll run for president. I will maintain a campaign online.
Okay.
And that's what I am doing
using
right
social
now.
media, Facebook, YouTube.
Absolutely, internet, anything, anything I can use to get my message across, I would do that.
If it should happen, because you know, many possibilities today.
Absolutely.
What would be your first? What would be your agenda? What would be, you know, the first thing that you would fight for?
If I were to win, the first thing I would fight for is financial equality for everyone. I would even the scales with finances from corporate America, where you have the top 2-3% that has most of the money in the entire world.
Sure.
I would try to bring back more financial equality for all people, because we all work hard, we all struggle, we all deserve a better way of life. And right now that's not happening.
Yes. Okay. And what would you do in terms of jobs for, you know, because so many jobs are sold out today and going overseas. And
yeah, absolutely. I would take away the tax incentives for companies that move their corporations overseas to get the cheap labor, but bring the finances that bring the profit back into the United States. They're not losing. The people are losing. The workers in this country are losing. Wages are depressed.
Sure.
And people are working 2 and 3 jobs just to try, not to have a better way of life, but just to maintain.
Yes.
And everything in life, area of life, area of business, they're allowed to charge you whatever the market can stand. That's what I was told. It's whatever the market will bear. Well, guess what? We're the market. Mm-hmm. And we're bearing everything right now, and we're losing.
Shirley, the country at this point is seen to be divided. What would you do to kind of bring us all together again? And let me say this right, it's just a shame also that it's so easy for us to be divided. And why is it so easy for us to be divided? It's like, you know, like the weather.
To be honest,
yes.
We've always been divided.
Okay.
We've been divided since, what, the 1600s, mm-hmm. when African American first came here.
Sure.
And over the years, there have been laws that have been, legislation that has been passed mm-hmm. to try to bring people together. Of course, you know, you had Dr. King fighting, other people fighting for equality and inclusiveness. Mm-hmm. However, the only thing that kept those feelings at bay have been the laws and the consequences. Right now, it appears that Donald Trump has taken away the consequences. So we have all of these groups that have been simmering and smoldering for decades. Now they feel that there are no consequences, so they can come out. They can come out with the hatred, with the bigotry, and the evil that we're seeing in this country right now. Within recent days, Amnesty International had a travel advisory in the United States. They're saying it's very dangerous because of the Texas and the Ohio shootings.
Sure.
Now there's a safety advisory for travel in the United States.
Which states what?
That this country is in turmoil.
Wow.
And then Amnesty International, their comments that were also made that this country is not doing, or they're refusing to do anything to stem the gun violence in this country.
And how would they do that? How would they actually stem the gun violence?
Well, of course, I mean, I tell everyone, guns, when people, they say, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Sure.
No, I say people with guns kill people. I mean, you can kill me with a match straw if you have the know-how, but what I'm saying is so easy for someone to pick up a gun, especially guns that should not be on the street. The automatic weapons, why are those type weapons on the street?
Okay. And what would we do? Because what I see also, I'm going to go into this right here. I didn't want to start just early, but why not? When they show assault rifles and things of that nature, do they hunt with those rifles also?
Absolutely.
So those are the hunting rifles now.
Yes, they are.
So it's no longer that rifle where you kick it back and then you shoot. It's the automatic rifle.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And there are kits where weapons can be turned into automatic rifles. So unless you also prevent the sale of those items as well, then people will still be able to alter their weapons to make them automatic the way they do now.
And how would you bridge that? How would you turn that around? What would you do?
I mean, what would anyone do? First of all, I mean, so many people feel that, that's not going to help. But we have to start somewhere. We can't sit back and not do anything.
So we should have laws against assault.
Ban, absolutely.
Ban.
Absolutely. Okay. There's no place for those type weapons on the street. For what? Why do you need rapid fire weapons? If you're not the police.
So let me ask you this right here. Yeah. Do they hunt with those rifles? Hunt like bear? Hunt wild animals with those?
I mean, I'm assuming so. I'm not sure. When you say those type rifles, I'm not sure exactly which one you're talking about.
I think the AR-31 or whatever the rifles that.
I see the type rifles on hunting shows that they use, and I see.
Are they automatic weapons that they use to hunt now?
I'm not sure. I don't think they use automatic weapons to hunt because they don't need it. I'm not sure what they use. Because
I guess I kind of got, a little allured by these rifles that they have now. I think AR-51s, I don't know what it would call it, and where they can shoot so many rounds.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Right. They call that a rifle. In my day, I think we would just call that a machine gun.
Yeah, well, it's not a machine gun.
It's not a machine gun.
No, because.
But it's a rifle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the AR, that type weapon, I'm not sure exactly what they would call it because I've never had a need to know about that weapon. The only thing I know is that it fires repeatedly, automatic, and I know that type or any other weapon like that has no place on the streets in this country or any country.
That's the truth. Well, we're going to flip a little bit, and every year, or at least every 2 to 3 years, we hear about the floods in the Gulf states. And I think I mentioned that to you over the phone last week when we talked, that I would be asking you a question about the continuous floods in the Gulf states and things. What could a president do to kind of change that?
Well, a president per se could not change it unless he gets all of the people, the engineers, and everyone with the know-how. That would be a group effort. The only thing I would do, I would make it possible for that to happen.
Sure.
And then I would get my most talented, most brightest people together, and we would see what we had to do to make this happen.
Sure. Because that seemed like a continuous thing.
Well, yes, and I think with global warming, it will possibly even get worse.
But we have to do something to fight it. Some kind of trench or something to let that run off water, whatever the case may be. And so, Shirley, is there anything that you would like to tell the public now about yourself and about your absolute reason for putting your self
Absolutely,
out there?
I would love to do that.
Go ahead.
Actually, I call my campaign a reality check. I'm a reality speaker. There's so much truths out there that we don't seem to know. Just basic truth as voters, as consumers, and as Americans that we don't know. So what I would like to do to give my campaign is to give to the American people information, to disseminate information so that they can make, so whether you vote for me or someone else, at least you will be able to make an informed choice about everything that's going on. It's unfortunate that the top 3-4% in this country controls everything in this country and thus around the world, when it's one man, one vote. You have so many poor and working class people in this country, but it's like our votes do not count. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that our votes do count. We have to make sure that every man and woman in this country who wants to vote, we have to prevent people names from being purged off the voting list. We have to have some type of default system to where if you want to go and vote, you get there and your name isn't on the list. There has to be something that you have, maybe receive a voter registration card like we used to in the past with a number on it. With that number, even if your name is not on the list when you go to vote, that number should give you the ability to vote that day.
Well, why not today? I think that I'm thinking about this myself. Why not have us vote right from our telephone?
Well,
and because the reason I say that right there, because our telephones today are so personal. I mean, you bank on them. You do so many things on the telephone today, and I could see that it can be used as a trustworthy. If I can bank on this phone, it should be. You understand? If I can bank on this phone, move money around, order things on the phone, I think I should be able to probably cast a vote also.
No, because there's not as much at stake when you're moving money around on your own personal account. Mm-hmm. I mean, as to when you're voting in something where there's so much at stake for so many different people. You know, the game is totally changed. So it would not be the same, or it would not be the same premise as you just moving your money. I myself personally, I'm sure one day it may come about to where there's they come up with a better way to vote, or more, using more technology. However, I want to pull that lever. I want to do whatever it is myself to make sure, at least I can't ensure that my vote's going to count, but I know that I cast my vote. Sure. What they do with it afterwards, I can't control. But I want to go, I want to pull the lever, I want to press the button, I want to write in my candidate. And by the way, my presidency, I will be a write-in candidate. I am not on the ballot. However, once you go into the voting booth, there's a section to the side and a stylus where you can write the person's name in. You can write my name in. You can write your name in there. Anyone has the ability to be voted for president. It's just everybody knowing what to do. And I'm sharing this information with you.
Well, since we share information, and you're the first independent candidate that I have interviewed for president, if the chance should happen, and today again it can.
Mm-hmm. Donald Trump.
And you become president of the United States.
Yes.
How do you select a vice president?
That's an interesting fact. That's an interesting question. I'm trying to figure out. I don't really have an answer for that right now. As the campaign goes along, I'm sure I'll probably meet people and get to know more people. And over the process of running a campaign, then I can make my decision. This is not like a regular campaign where you gotta have a running mate, you gotta have this, you have to have that.
Because I believe Ross Perot was an independent candidate.
Yes, he was, and I guess for lack of a better term,
he did have a running mate though.
For lack of a better term, I mean, I just independent. I see as an established party. All of this other stuff, I am just out here on my own, party of one, and have no loyalties to anyone but the American people. That's it.
That's a great loyalty.
Yeah.
That most people have failed today with.
Absolutely.
But then, if you should become president, then you would pick people. How would you pick your party? You would pick Republican, Democrat also to be in your party. I mean, not so much your party, but put in the office with you.
Yeah, and you know what?
Because you're gonna pick on the quality of their work more so than their party.
Yeah, and for me, I don't care, Democrat, Republican, Martian, Moon Man.
Right.
If we have the same ideology, if their goals are in line with mine, if their objectives and their perspective is in line with mine, then they can be in any cabinet, any position that they want to, as long as we're someone with the same goals and same objectives.
Okay. So you're ready to get out there.
Oh, I absolutely.
And I mean, from this interview here, you're ready to get out there and run for president.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely, and I think.
And we're going to BASA News. We're going to try to follow you, much as I can.
And I appreciate that. I feel that I'm just as credible and just as able as anyone else out there. That I speak that in the most sincerest way that I can. I think I have a better quality because I care about people. I know what it is to be poor. I'm not saying some politicians may have been poor when they were growing up. That means their parents knew what it was to be poor. But I'm telling you, the poor and working class, they can't relate to that. When has a Republican or a Democrat ever had to decide, am I going to pay my rent? Am I going to pay my car note? And am I going to pay my car insurance? Sure. When have they ever had to make that decision? I defy any of them, anyone running for president, to tell me within the last 20 years have they had to make a decision like that, a decision that we have to make on a monthly basis.
Sure. Well, you're the second Shirley that run. I kind of looked in history.
Shirley Chisholm. Mm-hmm. Yes, Shirley Chisholm from New York, I remember.
Right. You wouldn't be kidding with Shirley, would you?
No. And also, I think Barbara Jordan from Texas, mayor, ran for president at some point.
Yeah, I think Barbara Jordan, she was sharp. Yes, I looked up her history. She was from someone else. Yeah. And then your last name was Clay, and you wouldn't be kin to the great Muhammad Ali.
No relations to Cassius Clay whatsoever.
Yeah, former Cassius Clay with the great Muhammad Ali. Okay, Shirley. Well, we're gonna cover you. We're gonna follow you around and call you and let's see, get out
Absolutely.
there and put you on social media and things of that nature. With social media, is something that we've learned this time around as president that is an actual good thing to use.
It is a tool. It is a tool that can be used. Absolutely. Even after you become president, you can still go on social media every day and tweet.
So, for your last words, Shirley, what would you like to say to the American people?
For the American people, for me, my campaign slogan is transparency equals trust. We need more transparency. I have information. Everyone has access to this information. However, I have access to information. I'd like to share that with you. I plan to share it on social media, whether on Twitter, Facebook. I have a blog. I will be coming to you, and I would like for you to be able to contact me if there's anything that you would like to ask me. I will have several accounts set up, and I will be coming to you, each and every one. So if you get email, a Facebook friends request, anything from Shirley Clay for president, that will be me, and I would like to interact with each and every one of you so we can share. I can disseminate information, and you can share information with me as to what you're thinking about, what bothers you, what you need done in your life, so you can have the pursuit of happiness, just as this country has promised everybody. Sure. I would love to be able to assist you with that.
Well, as a BASA News President, Zachariah Jackson, I'm honored to follow you and many others.
Thank you.
That's running for president.
Absolutely.
As we count down the summer and we get ready in a few weeks for the 9th month, which is September, and after September we got October, and we're easing into the winter. After January 1st, New Year's Eve, we normally have that high, the New Year's Eve, and then the low, New Year's Day. Yeah. But I can surely tell you this here, as of January 2020, January 1st, 2020, will be a working January. I don't think whether we have snow 3 feet or 10 feet. I think we're going to be, it's going to be an exciting year because everybody that believe in change, that, that vote, working people, those that's acquiring work and things, those that have hope, will be focused on the presidency.
Absolutely.
And who will be the president in November. So as of January, the gloves would come off.
Yes.
Or to come on, you
Yeah.
know. And the boxing begin. Again, Zachariah Jackson, BASA News. Good afternoon.